The 2018 New York International Auto Show had a lot going on. Really good show this year. Allow me to be your guide. Let's start with concepts. Volkswagen showed what happens when you take the usable back end off of an Atlas with this, the 5-seat Atlas Cross Sport. The company has said a smaller version of the Atlas will be built in Chattanooga. It just might look like this. VW doesn't sell its current pickup in the US. The Atlas Tonok is something it should really bring here. No, we don't need the light show, but this mid-size truck makes a lot of sense, built on the same architecture as the Atlas crossover. It's about the size of a Ridgeline or Colorado. Love these door handles. I can see this one going into production. This one too. Mazda has shown the Kai concept in Japan. Everyone believes the next generation 3 will look a lot like this. I hope so because it's absolutely stunning. Please, Mazda, change as little as possible. At an off-site event, Mini brought the electric concept that was first shown at the 2017 Frankfurt Motor Show. It may not look exactly like this, but the brand's first all-electric vehicle will drop in 2019. As interesting as this yellow machine is, its older, yet smaller brother stole the thunder. This sure looks like a classic gas-powered Mini, but it too is all electric. Raise your hands if you prefer the red one. I know I do. This one, definitely a concept, but the Genesis Essentia surely wowed the crowd. Made of carbon fiber, this electric grand touring look into the future is stunning in person and was one of the big hits of the show. Check out the hood. You can see the suspension. Even if it made it to production, it couldn't look exactly like this, but even if it's in the ballpark, it will turn heads. Okay, the hot trend in the automotive world is, of course, SUVs and crossovers, so let's look at those. Oh, wait a minute, the actual real hot trend in New York is station wagons. Okay, I'm kidding, but there are some new ones. For some reason, auto writers adore wagons while the general public doesn't. Volvo is known for the genre, and there's a new one coming out, the next generation V60. It's a lovely looking long roof vehicle, and it gets the terrific interior treatment that Volvos are becoming known for. Look for it in late 2018 or early 2019. Jaguar, yes, Jaguar has a wagon, though it calls this version of the XF a sport brake. That'll fool everybody. The distinctive look will cost you though. It starts at about 70 grand, but hey, it's not like the SUV that everybody else in the neighborhood has. And don't forget that Mercedes still offers the E-Class wagon. Just saying. Okay, really, SUVs and crossovers, there's a bunch of them, including an all-new Toyota RAV4. It rides on Toyota's TNGA architecture, and one of the all-wheel drive systems gets active torque vectoring. This is the adventure model, which gets a more rugged look. I see a little bit of 4Runner in the design. If you want maximum fuel economy, the hybrid model has a more tame look. Looks like Toyota hit this one out of the park at first glance. A competitor? No, not the drapery, the next generation Subaru Forester. It looks exactly like a new Forester should, boxy and familiar. Perhaps the biggest news with this new model is that Subaru's EyeSight safety tech is standard equipment on all Foresters, and it's a very good system. The emergency braking system works at all speeds, not just low speeds. There's even facial recognition that watches for sleepy drivers. You and your dog will like this car a lot. One of the most surprising was the Lincoln Aviator, and let's give them a pat on the back for using an actual name, not an alphanumeric moniker. An elegant-looking people mover, the interior is something to see. This is probably a top-trim black label treatment, but dang, it looks good. And it's far nicer than the old Aviator that looked like a gussied-up Explorer. Acura brought the new RDX. It shows off the brand's new design language that's much different from Honda. There's a 10-speed automatic transmission, super handling all-wheel drive with real torque vectoring, and a turbo 4-cylinder that replaces the V6. It also has Acura's new user interface that is installed in a much better looking cabin. There's also a sporty A-Spec version. This crossover could be one to watch. At a special event at Cadillac House in Manhattan, wait for it, the new XT4 was revealed. Caddy has a lot riding on this machine, and considering the packed house, it's clear the automotive press thinks so too. It was actually hard to get a good shot of the vehicle. XT4 is kind of wide for the class. It gets a 2-liter turbo motor and a very nicely trimmed cabin. It's the best looking Cadillac I've seen since the ELR. In person, the taillights have great depth to them. All right, time for me to get out of here before I get trampled. If the Lexus NX is too big for you, perhaps the UX is just your style. This small crossover gets a 168-horse 2-liter 4-cylinder. If you want all-wheel drive, you'll have to step up to the hybrid model that uses the same engine and offers a little bit more oomph. BMW X1 and Audi Q3, you have a new competitor. Hyundai showed a refreshed Tucson. The interior gets a significant improvement. But the real story here is the Santa Fe, which is what the Santa Fe Sport used to be. The 3-row version will get a new name. This 2-row crossover gets a less polarizing design, especially the back pillar shape. Putting its best foot, interior forward, this is the top trim model that has a rich, expensive look. Moving on to Volvo, the XC40 was on hand, clearly showing off its Swedish heritage. The small 40 has a very distinctive profile. This high-end Inscription model has a rich interior that would be a great place to spend a lot of time in. The fabric in the door panels is a nice touch. And this particular one means that you'll never need to go out for an espresso. Sadly, this is custom. It's not an option. There is a huge emphasis on SUVs and crossovers, but sometimes you just want something fun to drive. The Cadillac CT6 V-Sport gets an exclusive 4.2-liter twin-turbo V8 with a hot V setup, producing 550 horsepower and 627 pound-feet of torque. All 4 wheels are driven. The transmission is a 10-speed, should be fast, should be fun. You may have forgotten about the Hyundai Veloster. Here's the 2nd generation, keeping the funky 3rd door on the passenger side. New is the Performance N model. Remember, the South Korean company poached Albert Biermann from BMW's M division. The Turbo 4 makes 275 horsepower. There's a 6-speed manual. Look out, GTI. If you want your Jaguar F-Pace to go as fast as possible, step up to the SVR version. The 550 horsepower supercharged V8 should get you over the hill and through the woods with no fuss or muss. With torque vectoring all-wheel drive, Jaguar claims a top speed of 176 miles an hour. Similar in tone, but less expensive, is the Ford Edge ST. The specially tuned 2.7-liter twin-turbo EcoBoost V6 makes 335 horsepower and 380 pound-feet of torque. A snappy 8-speed automatic tranny, all-wheel drive, and the option of performance brakes rounds out the package. Check out the Genesis G70 sedan. Aimed squarely at the BMW 3 Series, there's a very balanced quality to the sheet metal. It looks good. And word on the street is that it handles the street quite well, with exceptionally good handling. It's illegal to get 4 people into a MercedesAMG GT coupe, so go with the 577 horsepower GT63 and 630 horsepower GT63S instead. It's not based on the GT coupe platform. The E-Class structure lurks beneath. With a twin-turbo V8, a 9-speed automatic drives all the wheels. There's even a drift drive mode because, that's how owners drive these. Porsche showed off the 911 GT3 RS Weissach package. No turbo. The flat-6 engine makes 514 horsepower and 346 pound-feet of torque. A carbon fiber roof and other components makes the car lighter. Same with your wallet. You'd be spending some 31 grand to lose 40 pounds. Heck, I'd be happy to have just the rear wing, which I could use as a dining room table. And even though you can't buy it, Dodge had a demon simulator that, look at this, popped wheelies. If I could fit this in my family room, I would so do it. All right, very few of us get our dream machine, but there are a lot of affordable cars here. Nissan showed off an all-new 2019 Altima. The V-Motion grille gets a new look. As expected, there's a floating roof, which is a little bit more angular than most Nissans. Pro Pilot Assist will be available for the first time in an Altima. All-wheel drive can also be had. Replacing the V6 is Nissan's Trick variable compression turbocharged 4-cylinder. Toyota showed the new Corolla in hatchback form. It loses the IM moniker, just Corolla now. There's a much better looking cabin treatment with Apple CarPlay. It also gets an upgraded version of Toyota's safety system with improved lane keep assist. In addition to the continuously variable transmission, a 6-speed manual can be had. If you're thinking about buying the current generation Corolla, don't wait. Check this one out. While it won't be cheap, Kia showed upscale value with its new K900 luxury sedan. Quietly handsome? I think LeBron James will like this next generation of his favorite Kia. The brand also updated the Optima sedan, but it was so subtle I didn't notice it, and I didn't shoot it. Sorry. Pickups are among the best-selling vehicles in America. GMC has some new tricks. The new Sierra will be available with a carbon fiber bed that is not only lighter, but completely recyclable. The material allows the bed to be molded with definitive shapes that will hold dividers. There's even wheel indentations for motorcycles. Hard to do that with steel. They also have a transforming tailgate that will put Optimus Prime to shame. It can make access to the bed easier, turn into a step, all sorts of things. I'll post a full story on it soon. It's that cool. One quick look around the show, and it's very apparent that electrification is becoming very important in the auto industry. For example, even Mitsubishi has a plug-in hybrid, the Outlander. It's been available in Europe for years. It's now in the US. It goes for about 22 miles on electric power alone. Plug it in every night, and that's over 140 miles a week that gas isn't burned. Hyundai has just launched the small Kona crossover. At the New York show, it showed the fully electric version. It loses the aggressive grille of the gas-powered model and gains aero-efficient wheels. Range is estimated at 250 miles. Take that, Chevy Bolt EV. The interior has changed a bit too, especially the center console, but please, Hyundai, give us a black interior. Jaguar showed off the production version of the all-electric iPace, which looks as close as one could hope for to the concept version. This is a svelte vehicle in person, and I like how the grille curves back and the air flows through this panel, up over the hood and onto the windshield. Look for a range of about 240 miles or so. I am so looking forward to driving this vehicle. Slotting in between Accord and Civic is the Honda Insight. Looking like a very normal car now, this hybrid is supposedly targeting 55 miles per gallon when it comes out. The interior gets an upgrade from the Civic, and clever packaging means the trunk is nice and large. If this were a crossover instead of a sedan, it would be a smash hit. Well, there you go. Hope you enjoyed my tour of the 2018 New York International Auto Show. In the coming months, I will get to drive some of these vehicles, so stay tuned. That's driven. I guess this time they aren't driven. They're just looked at. I'm Tom Voelk.